What is up, everyone? This is Tom from AB Fitness Center, your host of, I guess, what we're calling the AB Fitness Podcast, here with my co-hosts, Law Bev and Brianna Allen. Say what's up, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
So, you're probably noticing that I am not Anthony and I have a beard. Well, I'm your host for today's episode. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to track your workouts, why you should, how you should, what to track, and then what to look for. Okay, so we'll start with why you should track your workouts. I actually just wanted to ask Law and Brianna, do you guys actually keep track of your training sessions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
every week I update it, and I have like a little journal that I write down my weights and all that stuff. So
Nice. What about you, Brianna? You said yeah?
Yeah, in my notes app on my phone.
See, we are one and the same. I actually do the same thing. Laura, you write it in a notebook? You're
yeah,
a real
so long. I have so many little notebooks like in my closet. So if I ever need to go back and look, I have them.
Oh my God. I actually found there's two people that I follow on Instagram that have been doing that for like literally 20 something years. And this guy has he's got like a decorations bin, like where you put like your Christmas decorations, and he has all exercise notebooks in there with like the date labeled on the spine. It's 20 years of training.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that is not only consistent, but that's really cool that he kept all that stuff. I think the only other thing people keep that long is like pictures.
Yeah, by the
Yeah.
time I'm like 60 years old, I'm gonna have that bin probably.
Yeah, there you go. Laura's gonna have like 6 pins instead of Christmas.
Yeah.
It's gonna say September
And I'll just
lifting.
give them to my kids.
Yeah, hey guys, do this. It worked.
And you better lift the weights that are on there.
God, setting the bar high. All right, so let's begin with why you should track your workouts. So we have a few pointers here. I'll actually start with the most simple and probably the biggest one, and it is to keep track of your results. So you'll actually have a tangible or visible piece of information that you could look at and say, okay, 6 months ago, and you guys should only be comparing yourself to yourself in the gym. So if you look back 6 months ago and you say, okay, well, 6 months ago, I was only able to do 140 pounds on a squat for 4 reps before I had to stop. And that was one set. If you look now, what you're doing today, say you're doing 190 pounds on a squat for a set of, X and Y and Z. So you'll be able to actually keep track of your results over the long run. Yes, you'll see some changes week to week, month to month, but ultimately the big things, all those little changes add up to like a decent, change for larger movements and even little movements over the long run. Okay, so keeping track of your results is definitely number one on why you should. You guys have anything to put in with that?
I also think that keeping track of your results will help you to push more each and every week too, because you're seeing results. So
Yeah.
I think it really is a good motivation to just keep going.
Yeah, especially when you're seeing like you said, those weekly results. You see, okay, last week I did 40, this week I did 45, next week I'll do 50. It kind of promotes the mindset that, okay, just a little bit more every time is going to be good until I get to that like long run where I'll be able to look back and see how far I've actually come. So the second point on why you should track your training or track your workouts is you want to note important information. So jot down important things like if you're injured, if you have a bad day, if you have a really good day, things like that, busy day at work. Mainly, this is to show you how your life stress is reflecting your training, right? So you're going to see how they interact with each other. If you have like a crazy day at work and, you write on the bottom of your, Tuesday training session, only able to do 3 sets of each, working with a short time. That'll be able to, like, if you look down the line, you're like, why did I skip a few exercises that day? You'll actually be able to see, okay, what was going on? Or, God forbid you're injured, which sometimes you have to like nurse an injury. You have to avoid moving a certain like joint or something like that. It'll be quick and easy for you to just take a look and say, okay, I skipped doing the bench that day because my shoulder was bothering me. Okay, so you could write down all that information and you'll actually be able to see, okay, I hurt my shoulder. What led to that? Was I really, really aggressive in the coming weeks to this point? let's say overhead pressing or barbell pressing, whatever it may be, what led up to that point? Did I go for a really aggressive big jump with my lifts? Nope, I can't find anything. Let me go further back. It just gives you more information to keep track of so that you're not questioning what's going on with your training. You're not questioning why you're not getting results or why you keep getting hurt. You'll have answers there that you wrote down. One of the last points for why you should track your workouts is because it promotes progress. You'll be able to see pretty much monthly or every 4 to 6 weeks is really when the adaptation changes or occurs to your body. You'll be able to see progress, and you're going to want more of that because who doesn't want more progress? I mean, it's awesome to look back at your bench or your squat or any meaningful lift to you and say, wow, you know, it's only been a month and I increased this lift by 30 pounds. That's pretty damn good. So it keeps you kind of like in the loop and in tune with what you're doing and how you're doing it so that you keep getting the results little by little. Now we can go into how to track your workouts. So like I think Brianna said, I actually keep track of everything in my notes app on my phone as well. And I've tried writing it down. I've tried using Google Sheets, which I'm like a wizard with. I've tried using independent like training apps. I just found that for me, the notes was very simple because I could write it, delete it, and edit it like really fast. And it wasn't like too overwhelming, very easy. I always have my phone with me. So the notes app was something that really just stuck for me.
But let me ask you a question. In the notes app, so what you did last week, you erase it and put what you're doing this week in?
Oh, no, that's a good question. So I basically have a new note for every week of training.
Oh, okay.
So like at the top of the note, I'll like title it like January week 1, and then whatever percentage I'm lifting, say it's like 50% or 90% of my 1 rep max, I'll put January week 1, 80% of 1 rep max.
So on week 4, you could still go back to week 1 and see where you started.
Yeah, and then
same thing.
I actually have, I do it monthly instead of weekly.
Nice.
So I have one note for the full month, and I'll just scroll down and keep spacing down for the next exercise I'm doing.
Yeah, and I think that I really like the notes too, because if I don't know where something is and I can't just scroll back and find it, the search bar up top is actually really convenient. So you could just like, I could type in bench, you know, X, and my language in my notes is definitely not going to be legible to like other people. So you'll see bench X8, that means bench for 8 reps. And then it says the at symbol at say 60% or like 80%. And it says, you know, okay, so I did the bench press for sets of 8 at 80%. And I'll be able to search that and find the last or every other time I've done it in the past year or so, which is really convenient for me because if I'm always trying to do better, say I did 100 pounds for a set of 8 at 80% last week or last year, I want to go up by maybe 10 pounds this year, right? Just for hypothetical purposes. So it's very easy for me to find and, you know, go back and refer back to what I'm doing. But now, Law, what does it look like when you throw everything in your notebook?
Yeah, so what I'll do is basically put down like the base and then every week go by like, I start with a certain number and then every week I either add 5 pounds to the lift, depending on how I feel throughout the rest of the weeks. So I do it like that.
Right.
But when do you guys update your schedule usually, like your routine every week? I do it on Sundays. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, I do it every Sunday.
Well, Brianna, you do it every month, so then.
Yeah, I do it every month.
Yeah. What I think the key pointer here is you have to find a method of tracking or how to track your workouts that you are like okay with. So find something that's easily accessible for you, like a phone or a notebook or an app, and whatever helps you be more consistent. That's probably the best thing to do. And it doesn't matter what you pick. The main thing should be consistency, because if you're going to track for a month, you're not going to get very far if you look back and skip a month or skip 2 weeks. You're going to be like, oh my God, there's no information here. What did I do last week? How do I know I'm improving? You want to make sure you're keeping a note of everything you can and be consistent with keeping that note. Okay. Now, the next point we have is going to be, so what to track when you're working out. So this is a very, this is like a 2-part answer here. So I'll let you guys go over what you guys track or the important things you track when you're training. So go ahead, Law, you could start.
So definitely the main movements like the squat, the bench, the deadlift, overhead press. Anything accessory wise, I kind of just put like triceps, and then I can choose that day what I'm feeling, if I want to do cable or dumbbell. So mostly the main movements I keep track of like that.
Right. What about you, Brianna?
I do something very similar to Laura. Like triceps, like I'll decide which ones I want to do that day or anything
Yeah.
specific like that. But basically the same thing Laura does.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page here. I usually just do the important lifts. And then the way that my training is laid out is I usually pair a big lift with a smaller lift, or like a helpful lift or something like that. And I'll just, because it's right under it, I'll just like jot it down. But as far as like accessory work, like you guys are saying, triceps, biceps, maybe traps, maybe calves, things like that. I'm usually not going to track the specifics of those, or at least I usually don't, because, you know, if you do have a good day and you do have a bad day, those things are all going to change. But if you're following like, you know, like a trap bar deadlift that you did for 8 reps last week, this week is going to be 6 reps, you could probably go up despite having not an amazing day. But I think that the bigger lifts or the meaningful lifts for you, say you're trying to personally improve your glute, your glute bridges with a barbell. That's something you could practice or just jot down as you practice it. If you're trying to improve your bicep curls, jot down your bicep curls. It has to be meaningful to you. So I think we're all on the same page here when the meaningful lifts for us 3 are pretty much your big lifts and the more like compound movements, like an overhead press or whether it be dumbbells or barbell. And then like any important movement that you specifically have interest in or want to improve as well. So that one's not really a difficult answer. It's just the important things for you, and then the big lifts that are going to help you get results pretty much all around the team. And now
also, I just want to add that if I try to PR, even if I fail, I always make sure to record it down that I tried that weight and failed. Just so I have it in my notes. Even if I tried it one time and I couldn't do it that one time, I make sure to write it down just so I could look back on that.
Yeah.
I don't just like say, oh, I couldn't do it and skip it and not write it.
Yeah. That's actually pretty smart. So it probably prevents you from failing again in the future. And it gives you useful data or information saying, okay, if I was supposed to do a set of 10 reps at 100 pounds and I failed that last time, maybe this time I should go with 90 and then see how I feel with 90 and see if that's a more successful lift. So that's actually really good too. So even tracking your failures, that's good. I usually have in my notes, I have like emojis all over the place. I'll put like a stop sign if the weight's too heavy. So if it's too heavy and I know I shouldn't increase the weight, I'll put a stop sign, or I'll put like a down arrow if it's like really heavy and I'm like, okay, your form is breaking, or you're not lifting properly, just go down. Or I'll put like an up arrow or a little check mark. my training notes are like, they're very entertaining to say the least. It'll be fun to go over.
Mine's cool. I just yell at myself on paper and I was like, did not get it. Like,
that's like the face emojis. And the steam coming out of the nose, that's the emojis Laura would use. We got to get you stickers. That's what we got to do. Like all the emoji stickers. Laura's going to have a notebook full of stickers. Oh my God. Oh man. Okay, so now we can go into the final part of how or why you should track your workouts, and it's what to look for with all this useful information that now you're jotting down and keeping track of. So first one is going to be the most obvious. What you want to look for is progress. You want to see movements excel over the course of months. So just how, Rome wasn't built overnight, or a Rolls Royce takes 6 months and a Toyota takes a Toyota takes 6 days, Rolls Royce takes 6 months to make. Your lifts, you progress with your strength over the course of months. Of course, every session adds up, but you're going to see some pretty decent changes month to month, or maybe every 4 to 6 months. So you want to look back at your notes for the same movements you're doing and see how far along you're coming with them. Your bench press, your squat, your deadlift, you want to look back and see if they're, doing well, or if you're constantly getting injured. You'll be able to actually refer back and use that information to help you make your next roundabout much more successful. So you're going to look for progress. The next thing you're going to look for is plateaus. So I mean, what would a plateau look like? If 6 months ago you did an overhead press with the barbell for a set of 10 at 100 pounds, and today you did the same exact thing, and then you did the same exact thing in 6 months, that's probably an area of opportunity that might be telling you, hey, you probably need a little bit more shoulder exercises to do to build up your shoulders, or you have to be a little bit more aggressive with progressing that specific lift. So you're looking for progress, you're looking for plateaus. And then the last one, you're looking for reoccurring injuries. So this one's pretty common sense. If you keep doing a movement and it keeps causing you pain and you keep getting hurt, you should probably avoid that movement. It's pretty simple. Or you should probably look into how to do that movement differently so it doesn't hurt you. Reoccurring injuries is something where people usually lift heavy, they get a little bit hurt, and then they're kind of like, I could just brush it off, I'll be fine. And then it gets even worse. And then they finally they, let their ego go down and they go throughout the motions again, start building their lifts up, and it happens again. There's something going on with that cycle. You should probably assess it and figure out, is it my form? Is it how aggressive I'm being? Is it the modality? Maybe it's, I can't use a barbell. Maybe I should use a dumbbell, whatever it may be. That's going to be something else you could look for when you have all this information in your notebook or your note or your app. Okay. Do you guys have anything to add to that?
No, I think you said it all pretty much. I think that's pretty accurate.
Awesome. All right. So I don't know how Anthony closes up these podcasts. So I'm just.
We should talk about the workout journal that we're going to be coming out with, right?
Oh, there we go. I would have forgot. Awesome. Okay. So if you're a member at AB Fitness Center, surprise, we have a workout journal for you guys. And if whatever we just spoke about sounds like quite a lot to kind of figure out, don't worry about it. We got your back. We actually have a workout journal for you guys. It's being published, I believe, recently or at the moment. And it's going to cover the main, or like it's going to have sections where you could write in the lifts that are important to you, how many sets, how many reps, how much weight, how long your rest was, and so on and so forth. And you'll be able to refer back. You'll be able to date everything. And then it's going to basically be that resource for you guys. Okay. So if you're a part of AB Fitness Center, we got your back. If you're not, then you might be able to find it on Amazon, or you might be able to find it on our website, which I'm assuming Anthony will have linked into this podcast. Okay. So if you guys have questions, leave them in the comment section below, considering this is going to be on YouTube. And if you're looking or interested in coaching, visit abfitnesstrainer.com and we will be able to reach out to you and help you get started. And until then, we will see you guys in the next one.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.